back for some more Outer Worlds. When last we left off, we took care of some stuff. We haven't really been playing with this one yet. For the main story, we've been kind of dealing with a whole bunch of side projects, and right now we're going to go pay for the printer. Apparently is the next quest we're going on for here. So loading up. It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. Alright, let's take a look at the map and where we're going. Up over there. Not sure what that noise was. Escape. Oh. Confirming my interview for Monday. Jack O'Halloran. Nod from Superman and Superman 2. Alright, fast traveled over to
I always wanted to visit
Stellar Bay.
Taking the sights, the sounds, Wait, what's that smell?
You'll get used to it. Give it 10 or 15 years. Nice work!
I know that's how it's done. That's how I did it.
Careful. Only things you'll find in the ruins are liable.
Here they come!
Doing pretty alright so far. We're going to be heading over there, so I might want to stay on task for the moment. About to say, we'll take your shit. And now it looks like we'll be heading this way. Taking a little bit of acid damage, but I'll live as we continue to move on.
Hey, it's the twins. Surprised you two needed backup. That would be fun.
Take their shit.
Oh, that's the last of him.
Good to know. Where's the other one? There he is. All right. We found our spot, and we actually got some named characters, so that was kind of interesting. Looks like we're going into the location here. As we're getting set. Well, at least Jaden did what I said.
Amber.
No, where is she? I don't see her.
Jaden. Jaden. Can you do me a favor? Get that bag off of Brandon's bed. Get him out of it.
Alright, pick up what we can pick up. Especially shit like that, because I have a feeling I'm going to need them. Ooh. I could pick that. Which opened up a whole new world of shit for me to fuck with. Good. Checking this shit out. Read it at your leisure by pressing pause. That's what I do. Guys are still fighting. It was actually afraid. That was cool. It was actually afraid. I finished looking around. Make sure there's nothing in here that isn't useful. We all good? Mag blocks. Energy cells. Bunch of cool shit. Getting plenty of light ammo. Hard shit. Who knew it couldn't be that easy?
He just said it.
Wash it.
You still on it.
Now that was fun!
Whole bunch of foods.
Well, then why? Alan. I just figured something like, oh, Brandon.
Look around.
Would you stop smelling your
I just got challenged. There's only one feather. Right? That was
There we go.
Brandon,
That, and then use terminal. Install rollers. And now we leave and return to Graham. Ouch. Silly me. Thinking I could jump from that high. I'm too used to Fallout 76 when I got marsupial. And I could jump as high as I want. But yes, folks, that quickly we were able to go ahead and handle the printer, get that back, which will make Graham happy. Because we know how much we want Graham happy. Let's see here. I could just fast travel to Graham. Yeah. Come on. Load, load, load.
Felix, I overheard you listening to Tossball. You a fan?
Am I a fan, she asks. I've been a fan since the Rangers won the Tripicale Crown.
Right. Explain something to me. What the hell is the point of the six-back?
Oh, it's easy. See, the six-back protects the fourth back from the eighth back. You want to think of the six-back as your 12th line of defense, yeah? Unless, and this is important, the game's in...
If you'll just listen...
No, no more listening, no more preaching. We are losing people left and right. We need to act.
Enough, Zora. I'm not putting the torch to innocent people. Do you want to bring the board's cruisers and gunships down on us? Captain, apologies, but our situation grows dire. Our people talk of foolish endeavors. What news do you bring?
If there are gunships, they sure didn't stop me from landing here.
They are armed all the same. All they need is a good reason, and war is one such reason.
Okay, well, the printing press is
Excellent.
all yours.
Did you find the Vanois?
They didn't make it.
Ah, that hurts. You see, Graham? We're losing people.
We're one step closer to bringing the truth to every man, woman, and child in Halcyon. For now, you can tell Hiram that I'll stop using Devil's Peak. From the pits of our eternal souls. Thank you, Captain. I have much to do. Articles to write, sermons to ponder. We live in such an exciting time. Let's talk later.
Sermons? For the love of... I'm going to see to the wounded.
And we reached level 18. Let's get my dialogue up.
Hey, you do this. This is the way of letting them charge.
Oh, when you're done with the stuff, especially that thing on the guy's best friend. Put it up. In here, Brandon.
We'll go with that.
On your daddy's desk.
Cool. Still stealing.
Hey,
What are you staring at?
Aw, you don't want to talk to me. Alright, well, let's see what's the next quest that we're on. It looks like we're back on the free Radio Free Monarch. Alright.
Hey! Get your skinny butt off my leg. But he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. He was too busy laughing at what I said.
Clear off the bed, Brandon. Leave your sheets. Just take the clothes. All right. Let's go see Sanjar.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Well, new business turns up at last.
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
It's very generous of you.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
I need you to shut off your broadcasts.
Oh. I suppose that means you aren't here for the Saltuna.
Can always be both.
Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
What exactly were you hoping
Thanks
to
the
accomplish?
so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
That's the board's way. Doesn't matter if you're Monarch or the Groundbreaker. If the board can't control you, they'll find a way to punish you.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
And you're tired of scrounging and scraping by, is that it?
Yes, freedom is a
David?
tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Would you look at?
Can't imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony.
I can't.
Could
sit
it be
back.
because you're an agent of the establishment?
Monarch's a free planet,
Got a
Felix.
number on my-
It's also fucked.
Yeah.
I ain't a fan of the folks on the board, but if they could be wrangled to rebuild our roads, I'd welcome the help.
Your friend makes a good point, young man. I used to be young and idealistic too, but you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
So what do you mean to do about
Well,
it?
Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Are you out of your mind? You can't just go crawling back to your old masters.
Well, we can't continue to subsist like this either.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Ugh. You do seem to have a bit of a Rapidon problem.
And a Mantisaur problem. And a Marauder problem.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting with the Bolt 52, we won't need to advertise anymore. We can stop our transmissions altogether.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Sounds useful.
Quite
What is
one
it?
of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
I was starting to get bored listening to you until you said the phrase extremely powerful ordnance.
It is quite the rush.
And where do I
In the
find
old
one?
arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. These days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
I guess I'll go and get your Bolt 52.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Sure.
What can I do for you?
Before I go, need you to stop broadcasting your jamming
You're
double
just as
fixation.
rigid as the old executive committee. Why, we've hardly been able to get a clear message out until recently.
When Graham finally shut up.
It isn't easy keeping a town like Stellar Bay afloat, especially without the board's backing. We need that frequency to reach our trading partners.
Must be another way to do
Indeed.
business.
That's why it's imperative that MSI be reinstated onto the board. And the first step is getting the Bolt 52.
Make Grim the
I
landing
see.
pad guard.
And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up
Well,
job.
that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did you guys get kicked off the board to begin
I've
with?
asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
What do you mean that you initiated your own removal from
Not
the board?
intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
And what happened to the other corporations?
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
Okay.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
I take it your leadership didn't embrace your ideas.
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else.
Yet here you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
That's low even for
I
them.
don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what do we have? I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Why exactly do you want back on the
Why
board?
wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, he'll own your dignity too.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've treated you pretty roughly. Is that worth going back
I'm
to
not
that?
the man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Don't
Leverage?
get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
What's the hazard clause?
Straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Nyoka has the right of it. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
Sounds like the board gave themselves the power to arrest an entire planet.
They would say it's for the greater good.
And they invoked it on Monarch.
Making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
You don't seem to
As I
think much
hear
of Graham.
You two are already well acquainted. He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them. But you already know that, don't you?
They're not so bad. You should give them a chance.
They've been doing this for years. And well, let's just say I know enough about Graham to be confident that he won't change. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So, what's the downside?
Shall I begin with the supply shortages or the subtle but constant threat of annihilation? He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you?
That's it. Nope. All right.
Help! Someone's been killed!
I heard that. Where? Apparently not in here.
I think I'm gonna
What's
be
up?
sick.
You all right?
No! I just stepped in a dead man's blood. And I think one of the flies landed on my mouth. If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Murder? Hey, is this the part where we go hunting for clues?
Even Stellar Bay ain't safe these days. What's the world coming to? They'll never see us.
Examine. Examine. All right. I don't know what's going on. I think it switched my quest. Let's see where we're going. Not far.
So tell me, what do you eat when you're out exploring? It's trail rations, right?
No.
Oh, that's the last of him.
Dead, right? All right. Adreno, useful. Light ammo, eventually useful. Adreno, useful. I mean, I got no problem picking up the big cartridges. Free money's free money.
Oh, hello, hello? I hear boots out there. Wait, can rats wear boots?
Yeah.
Get away!
Sorry, couldn't help it. Who's in there?
Thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Meta Queen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess. I ran in here, and, now the door's locked. Little help?
You got locked in? How?
It's easier than it sounds, all right? Next time you get chased by Raptidons, you let me know the rationality of your decisions.
Well, I need to get into that room.
Phew. Thanks, mister. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched. So look for a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe it's in a rat belly. Gross.
I think I found it.
Much obliged.
Ah, phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe I was gonna die. Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights.
Still landing yourself in trouble, eh, Hux?
Oh, hi, Nyoka. You mind giving me an escort back home? Oh, you're traveling with someone. Never mind.
Sure you're okay to travel?
Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy, and hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend?
Good luck.
Thanks a lot, mister.
Do you? Pick up everything I can. Got it. I didn't see what I was supposed to delete off a terminal. So far, I'm surprised I haven't gotten over encumbered. Lead all. All right, that means we can fast travel back to town and turn this in. All right, in we go. Excuse me. Shame on you. Getting pretty deep in. For all I know, this could be what lands me in my next level. Not mine to take.
Hey, Nyoka. I got some questions I've been meaning to ask you. About being a hunter and all.
Felix, are you reading off your hand again?
Be careful with your new friends in Amber Heights. They're not the most reliable types. Anyway,
oh, shut the fuck
what can
up.
I do for you?
Found your review on a terminal.
You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it.
Sorry, it was already open.
Oh, yes. No doubt someone else was having a laugh at my expense before you. This has been my albatross. The great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them.
Your left kidney?
One of the executives required a transplant. I thought volunteering to donate might improve my prospects. Apparently not.
Who cares what they think? You're in charge now.
In charge of a scrap heap of a city. Abandoned by the board and surviving only through the hypocrisy of our trading partners.
And you've made it work. That's more than anyone can say for those execs.
I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Was there something else?
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less.
How exactly is a data cartridge going
What
to
a
help?
question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board.
Wait.
All right.
We're dropping a bomb on the board?
Sort of. Really, we're just going to blackmail them into offering us a seat.
It's definitely a firm middle finger.
I can get
That's
behind
what
that.
I like to hear. I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
The board just can't let Monarch go, huh?
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board.
You sly
You
dog.
really think so? I admit I've been hatching this scheme for quite some time. I just needed someone capable to help me carry it out. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are.
I know. how to
Oh,
make
I
them talk.
imagine you do. But as much as I love your can-do attitude and dangerous gravitas, Catherine handles all of our shipments. So it would be best if you could leave her in one piece. Is that how you people put it? Once
Close
you
enough.
subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it. A
Sure, easy.
foolproof plan if I ever heard one. I'll leave the execution to you.
Bye. All right. Let's see where this is. He said Fallbrook, so I think that's something I've already been to before. That would be correct. So I could just fast travel. You lost it. She wanted it. She took it.
I got stuff on my own shoulder. I thought you understand. Nope.
All right. Now it looks like I got to go all the way over here.
You seen Arthur today?
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
You blind, fella? Or can you not see I'm busy? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout awful friendly? Welcome to Fallbrook. Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land. Like a void damn advert.
Catherine, you're as welcoming as ever.
Truthfully spoken, I do aim to properly represent my aforementioned nugget of paradise.
Nice to meet you. I'm Trevor. Oh, charmed. If by nugget of paradise you mean piece of manny dung, then
You know,
sure.
I ain't heard that one before. Suppose I'll have to work harder to show you just what makes our town shine. But first, I'll need to know what brings you, stranger. Well, I'm half listening.
Well, we'll start with the first one.
Might be I know something about it. Might be someone hired my crew to blind drop supplies on the Northern Bridge. Might be they sure as shit weren't pirates. Now that I consider it, I ain't heard from my delivery team in far too long. Find them for me, and I'll pay you handsomely. And I'll thank you kindly for it. If it's one that don't mind getting dirty, then I sure do. But how am I to know whether you're reliable, if not fully trustworthy?
You could trust me.
Against my better judgment, I do believe you. There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. Clive Lundberg, insufferable prick. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. I want it. Clear as that.
Get the feeling this is going to involve murder and mayhem.
Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit and drowning in his ego. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. I want that Borst factory, owner dead or alive. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid son of a bitch who's gonna get it for me.
And what specifically do you want me to do?
Run him out. I don't rightly care for the details. So long as Clive knows resistance to me is costly and futile. Hit him where it hurts. In his gut or his production lines ought to make do.
Any tips
If
on
you
how I
got
might
brass
get in?
knockers, you could shoot your way through the front gate. If you don't fancy getting shot to shit, you can try asking Duncan for a disguise. Might be another way in, assuming you're courageous enough to trek the sewers. Void if I know. Sometimes the simplest solution is the sweetest. I don't give a whit about the method or the means, just the end. It'll be more than good when you're finished. Maybe not for Clive, but for me and you, I'm sure. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the dry goods and sundry building. He ought to have an employee ID in that stash of illicit goods he keeps for select clientele. May luck be with you, since I won't be.
Truth be told, with that
Catherine's
smoker's
great,
voice,
ain't
I
she?
don't see you
She'll
being
pull you
very
out of the
useful
sulfur,
anyway.
So long as you don't mind being in her.
All right. We'll work our way up. Looks like when I go to bed, you'll have to take over my chair. Because she wanted to go to sleep. Up this way we go.
It's gotta be easy.
Cool.
Hello there. A word, if I may be so bold?
What's up?
Name's Weston. Every once in a while, I set up shop along these here roads. You find yourself in need of resupply, you come on by. Care to purchase a thing or two?
Tell me what you have. Thanks. $41. See if I have anything better than 41. I do not. Get rid of all this shit because it's all useless. Just taking up space. Really don't need that. Really don't need that. I want to keep that. Yeah. Holy shit. That may be useful. I'm never going to use the flamethrower. Break it down. Break it down. Cool.
Boss!
Oh shit!
Get up! Come on!
Whoops. I fell off. I didn't mean to fall off, but I fell off. Whoops. Thought it was a little bit more secure to stand on where I can get a look over the side, and I wound up going over the side.
The one that gave me the book that's in the cube over there. He liked the picture I stole of you, and the pictures from Christmas.
What picture you stole of me? An ugly, very tired picture of me.
And then he liked these ones. That was very nice that he sent me that book. I'll have to pull it out and try reading it. Yeah,
Oh, fuck, I'm back to this. Well, that's fine, because I get a chance to,
Go away, White.
That's not how the game works. I say, knock, knock, like I'm on the outside of the door.
that gives a chance for us to,
Swear to the architect,
go
I will
ahead and
punch your
stop
legs
for the night. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did in any capacity, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out the other great Let's Plays as well as all the tabletop content. Oh, Sounds Dicey Gaming. And, of course, check out our sister channel, Realm of the Mist Entertainment, for all your podcast needs. You can always check out the audio versions of Realm of the Mist Entertainment by looking up Realm of the Mist Entertainment on Anchor.fm, Apple iTunes, or wherever quality podcasts can be heard for audio format. I will catch you on the next Outer Worlds. Have a good night, guys.